The DJ Roundtable Show is live. It's the DJ Roundtable Show. Tell another DJ about the show.
It is 8 o'clock.
Please subscribe.
It is Tuesday night. Do you know where your DJ's at? I know where I'm at. I'm here with you. It is another DJ Roundtable, and as always, I have some great DJs here with me tonight. Someone asked me, why do I keep looking over to this side of the screen when you guys come in? I'm always looking over. It's because I have multiple screens here, and my Twitch channel is way in the back over here on the side. So on the screen, I have two 39-inch ultra wide screens that are like equal to like four standard screens. So I can have four items up at the same time, treat like four separate screens, and that's what I do. So you guys see me have my head turned. I'm looking at Twitch and making sure you guys on Twitch can hear me and hear everyone else on here. And if you are on Twitch, I thank you very much for watching on Twitch, and hopefully you're having a fun time tonight here enjoying a beautiful show. But if you are over on the tubes, do me a favor. I don't ask for much. I just ask for you to do a couple things. First thing first, make sure you like, follow, and hit that bell icon because it's very important. The monster that we know as the YouTube algorithm is a hard beast to slay, and I ask for your help. It is absolutely free. And if you could do one more thing, share it with another DJ. Share it with someone else who is out there. Jim, I see you out there. Thank you for stopping by, Jim. Make sure that you stop and smell the roses, but also make sure you stop and send it to another DJ. It helps channel grow. And for all the new subscribers to the channel, thank you so much for coming in and joining the DJ Roundtable family and hearing from all these great voices from around the world. And the reason why I say around the world, because they're around the country. And I have Paul in Australia. I have another DJ also from Australia. So I have two from Australia. I got to get someone from Europe. I got to get someone from the European continent on here sometime soon. And that's the hard one because they're it's like in the middle of the morning for them there right now. So it's 8 o'clock here in Chicago. It's 9 o'clock in the East Coast. It's 6 o'clock out in California. And I want to again start off with California because we have Matt, who's not been here for a little bit. He's been busy. He had a vicious ear infection last week. He must be better. Hopefully, he can hear because he went to Namm. I don't know if he has much hearing after Namm. I saw some of the video he put up there. He put a big long video up on his channel. All the links are down below for the channels. I thought it was very interesting, especially the QSC sound room, how they had that there. I thought that was very interesting. And he walked through the whole entire Namm thing. The big thing that I took away from it is it's hard to understand what's going on, even with a phone and a great microphone that picks up the sound, because depending what you're playing it back on and how it's captured, it may not represent what you hear in real life. But I was actually fairly impressed with some of the audio there for some of the stuff that he showed, and thought it was pretty interesting. The big thing, Matt, with everything going on Namm, a couple of quick questions for you. Was it crowded? Was it packed like it was before, or was the crowd still kind of pushed away?
It was definitely packed the first day. First 2 days it was pretty packed. Saturday was the last day is always pretty easy, but it was definitely packed start to finish. It was a full show, so I mean there was so much to see, so much to do, so many demos, so much new gear. Yeah, I guess I'll start with I'll give you my 2 cents. I'll start with obviously the two most things that everyone wants to care about is the EVs and the QSCs. We hit the QSC demo room first, right when it opened. I will say I think one KC12 sounded better than when they had two. I didn't like the way that both of them sounded together. I think when you have such a wide dispersion, it kind of, I don't know, to me, maybe they need to toe them out or something, but it definitely, I mean, short answer, the QSC sounded better than any of the EV products. Like sound wise, the QSC sounded better. at least from the top end. I think the EV had nicer bass. Both the 15 and the 18 did have some nice thump. The QSC definitely, I mean, it hit, but I feel like once you start turning it up, it's not going to really do much in a room of more than 75 people. It's kind of just like a J8 with a little bit more top end that could get louder, but it wasn't. We heard the whole demo. It was only about a 10-minute demo. It was it was all right. I mean, I like the sound of it. I just I think it's not the most pretty speaker compared to what Evie has, but it sounded definitely sounded full. You can when you go up close to it, you can tell the highs and the mids. You can tell it's three-way. So you definitely get a much nicer blended sound. Um, it's pretty. I mean, the white is pretty, but there is still a seam on it, which I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but there is a pretty significant seam that's visible, and that is full production units. That's not a pre-production review unit. That is the full. That's just the look. It's got a seam. You could push it down a little bit more and get some of the seam away, but it's still a seam. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I think the QSC's I don't know. I would like to get my hands on them. They did have a couple DJs demoing them, and I think they sounded worse when the DJs were playing than in the demo. They didn't have any processing applied though. They just went straight out of the DJ into a like soundboard and then into the actual mixer. But there was no, I asked them to show me. There was completely flat, no processing, just straight through. Same thing with EV, just straight through. They didn't even have a soundboard there. They just had like a Behringer style mixer. So that was nice to know that that's what it sounded like. But I would like to get my hands on a pair. I did talk to somebody at QSC later that day. And since their factory is only about 10 minutes from where I live here in Irvine, they're in Costa Mesa. I gave him my YouTube channel and he had either heard of me or seen my channel and I'm working with him to get a pair to try out for a week or so and do a review video on. So
That's
I will give
good.
my more full opinion after that. Because I would like to try them out. I think they'd be good for smaller stuff. They're definitely not going to be something that's, I mean, it's physics. Those are not going to cover a 200 person wedding. So everyone that's thinking that they'll handle a big room, I'm not so sure about that. Uh, EV though, EV did a demo every like 30 minutes. The whole demo was like 25 minutes and there was like 5 minutes to ask questions. Their product, I don't know if you guys use them, but like every single thing that they have just sounds like um, the only thing that I thought sounded good, besides the new columns, was the ZL or the ELX series. The ELX sounds pretty good. The little baby sub and the ELX top that actually sounded good, but the ETX was so muddy and gross sounding. The EKX was bad. The ZLX, of course, was bad. The Evolve 30 was bad. The 50, I don't know why people use those. I will say I did 4 demos there. When I did the first demo, I was in the back of the room. Second demo, I was sitting up front on the right. Both of the Evolves, not the new ones, but the previous models were on the left. So when I was sitting over there on the left, that's when those sounded good. And I'm like, oh, okay, these sound good. But they only sound good in one spot in the whole room. Um, Now, when you move up to the 70s and 90s, they only played one track on everything, by the way, so it was really hard. It wasn't the same track, so it was really hard to kind of compare. Um, the 70s definitely have a nice punchier bass. It's clean, it's tight. I think a lot of the Evolve 50 users will like those because they like that Evolve 50 sound where there's just no mids, and it's just highs and kind of blended muddy into lows. The 90 gets rid of that problem. It's not as discernible to notice that there's no mids. It's not a three-way speaker, so you're really just getting highs into a sub. But the sub is significantly larger on the 18 and definitely thumps a bit harder. So it kind of makes up for the fact that there's no mid-range drivers really in there. So I would get, I mean, if somebody asked like, hey, do you want one of these for free? I would take the 90s, but at the same time, it's not really portable. And until you're there and see these in person, they're huge. They're beefy. It's like the size of if you ever been to a nice band wedding, like an L Acoustic Siva system, it's like that big. It's pretty chunky of a column top versus the 30 and 50. So,
Well, you need a big bottom
yeah, of
unit
course.
for an 18-inch sub.
Of course. But the 70 and the 90, it's the same top, so it's interchangeable, by the way. Which is good and bad. That's bad because it means that you're getting more bass, but also like the same amount of volume out of the top. I don't think they were blasting them there, but when I had asked somebody at the back, he was saying like they're near limit, which is scary because it really wasn't that loud. So I would be hesitant to pre-order these. I would wait until they get some on the market. If any of you happened to catch my email or my post in the DJ idea sharing that was up for 10 minutes before I got a nasty call from Mike Fernino and uh, threatening me. Um, I can tell you what the dealer pricing is and how cheap they should be. I was not supposed to get this email, but I was
Well,
included on.
don't share that here
I'm not
because
going to. I'm just saying I got an email I shouldn't have, and I posted it thinking it was the official announcement for everybody to have the information of, and apparently that was not the case. But all's fine now. Evie's supposed to send me something because they like I helped them realize where they screwed up. So they're supposed to send me something, some sort of gift, but I think for the price, they're definitely not worth it. That's for sure. It's not. It doesn't sound like a 3,000. If you're going to spend that kind of money, get the 44G2. We got a demo of that, and I still think it's the best sounding column array out of anything. The EV has more bass than the 44, but of course it's an 18. It is humongous though. You're not going to lift that with one hand through that top handle. It's humongous, and it's definitely not really portable. So.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've heard it is that the sub is as big as a bar fridge,
Yeah, it's
like the
sizable.
like the mini bars in a hotel room. You know.
It's sizable. I mean, it's nice looking for a sub, but it's sizable. Moving on the best. So that's what I think about those two. Other notable things. The best thing I heard at NAMM was LD Systems has an ICOA Pro, which is a 21-inch subwoofer, and a new ICOA top called the ICOA Pro 2. And it honestly sounded better than anything RCF had next door. It is the nicest sounding speaker I heard at NAMM all weekend. They've got it in a 12 and a 15. If you heard the previous ICOAs, those sounded like garbage. So these are, it's a coaxial speaker, but my God, it sounded so good. The sub itself, also the 21, definitely, it's a punchier 21, but it also goes deep. So I think people really like that. It's the exact same size as the ICOA. Um, yeah, they still haven't called yet. No. It's the exact same size as the ICOA, and yeah, it's a nice little rumbling in your tummy, and it definitely hit hard. Only other column stuff, RCF, everybody else, because they're going to ask about it. The NXL 14 with the AX15 sub is technically a column system, but it's not a column array, so the sub doesn't power the top. It's two separate power cords, two separate XLRs. The cool thing though is with all the AX subwoofers and their newer line of subwoofers, they have this preset software that you can just dial in your presets, and then it will apply those presets to the top also. So instead of spending time tuning a system, RCF has designated presets in the new AX series using like an LED colored screen on the back, and you can just make your stuff sound better just with that. So I don't think those sounded all that good. My buddy was saying it was only at about 40%. So sure, I guess it can go loud, but um, I don't know. You're not going to get a massive sound out of a small system for a huge room, is just what it comes down to. And I definitely felt with some of the tracks they demoed that it was kind of a trapped sound. And the 15-inch sub sounded good, but it didn't go deep. So it would be perfect for like a small bar type of application. But I mean, you're looking at like 6 grand plus for that whole setup, if not seven. And yeah, I think there's better options for that price. So other than that, RCF has a new 16-inch and a 19-inch sub, as well as a dual 19. But of course, the engineer for RCF is Dick and doesn't like the kind of music that us people
oh,
listen
come
to. So
on, no bad
it
words.
I didn't say a bad word, but he is.
You did
Yeah, you
He said
did.
I
the
he
D
said
word.
we're not playing that computer generated music on our system. And so every track was some stupid rock song or some like Bruno Mars type thing. So, you got a dual 19, a pair of them, and you're just gonna play some rock song through them and not get low or anything of value. So, I
Or
argue
or
putting those
or UNK walk it out. That song's got a lot of
anything. But no, they wanted some stupid rock song. So
Well,
whatever
that's
with
what the engineers when they're in Italy, um, I've been told by people who have had the tour of the factory there, that's what they test the music on because it has the most range of all the songs. So they play the same song over and over again, and it's has the most range, which that's what they want. They want to test all the range, not just one category. If you want just one category, I guess it's probably Bass Boss, and I'm
so
sure you saw the Bass
nice.
Boss, you saw the Krakatoa.
So the nice transition, yes. Bass Boss knows what the DJs want, and they had obviously the best demo room in the whole place. They have this new thing called the Krakatoa, which is technically a five, it's a full range speaker, but it's the same as the Kraken, but it's a quintuple 18-inch woofers with a coaxial speaker with a 3-inch voice coil on the mid driver and like a something on the high. I don't know.
Say that
Um,
3 times fast.
yeah, it didn't sound all. I mean, it sounded okay, but it's definitely that box itself needs more to really unleash it. It's kind of got Bass Boss's thing to me where it's like unless you have enough low end to balance these tops out, it's gonna sound like a bit too harsh and too bright. So once they turned on what they call the Stackatoa, which was a Kraken, which is a quad 21, and then Makara, which is a dual 21 on top of that, mixed with the Krakatoa on top of that, you get a $50,000 array called a Stackatoa. And the pair of those was insane. I mean, they did this. So "Sunshine of Your Love," the classic rock song, they have one by Yuki called "Sunshine of Your Wub," and it just da 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 da, and then it drops into like a dubstep drop. Oh my God! I mean, just the reactions of people, just insane. You get a pair of those, you could just. I mean, you have yeah. That made me
Well,
smile. That
well,
made me
unless
smile.
you're Taylor Swift and doing a few thousand people.
It doesn't matter. I would bring it to a 100-person wedding just to have
Oh,
oh,
no, no,
that'll be
no.
And it
overkill.
becomes a
easily.
Wakatilla. Very
You
nice.
do need they said that they got it up there without a forklift. I don't know about that, but I guess you could kind of like play stack-a-mole and stack them up on top of each other, but you definitely need some sort of forklift or something. I mean, each one weighs,
Speaker Jenga.
but
Yeah, it's probably not gonna fit in an elevator. It's probably not gonna be able to go upstairs. You got to look at
I yeah,
realistic things like that.
I am gonna get a pair of the Bass Boss SSP 118s, which are their single 18s. I am gonna get a pair of those and replace my Echoes with those because even just the two of those sounded incredible. And just yeah, I think that's what I need to invest in. What's nice about Bass Boss is all their stuff is phase coherent, so you can actually like stack a bunch of subs and they'll all sound great together. You don't really need to have any fancy processing. Like you just set them all to the same preset and they all just sound great. So I'm gonna probably get one of those. I got a great price from Guitar Center, and if I don't like them, I could just return them for instant credit.
And
So
there you go.
uh,
So
Bass Boss, yeah, favorite. Anyway,
baseball is
yeah,
your
that's about
favorite,
it.
and what would you as your takeaway from the show? What would you say is your
There wasn't
biggest
any.
thing that you like
Uh,
besides the baseball stuff?
um, I don't know. A couple other quick things. I met Joe Bunn there. He was there. I met Ray. They had some sounding column speakers from China. I think people are starting to realize and then slapping their name on it. So uh, the DJ booths, somebody found those actual DJ booths on a Chinese website on Alibaba. So you know, I think what they do is cool, but I think they need to stick with the booths instead of trying to go into audio. Um, there was no Chevet, there was no JMAZ. Pioneer's booth was whatever. I don't really care about it. I realize that I can't scratch, but I don't need to. At the 12-inch skins booth, they have some really cool skins for the Rain 4. They do have the new Rain 1 Mark II in music opened on the second day. They weren't open on the first day. So they have a Rain 1 Mark II with built-in stems and stem effects and all sorts of stuff like that.
That's cool. Hey,
Um,
I actually saw a video from one of my future co-stars of Time to Spend, DJ Too Legit. He did his own thoughts on the Rain 1 Mark II. And he's actually thinking about getting one next year in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a Rain 1, and you should definitely get the Mark II. It's got all the upgrades and the features of a Rain 4, but in two channels. So a lot of people like it. It comes stock in white though, so if you really don't like white, you're kind of out of luck. Other than that, takeaway or impressed by, L Acoustics had a really cool room. I didn't get to go into the audio soundscape by D&B. What else? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I met up with a lot of DJs. I think takeaways for me, I'm gonna become part of LD's influencer program, hopefully. I've been talking, emailing back and forth with a couple guys I met over there because of the countless amount of ICOA subs I've sold for them. Insider info, there is no 44G3 coming out at least for another 2 years. They don't have it in the product pipeline. They haven't done any R&D. There's no plans for it. So if you want to buy a 44G2, it's going to at least stick you for 2 more years. Um, so other than that, the I don't know. It was a fun show, a lot of walking. It was very windy the first day. That was interesting. Um, yeah, I don't know what else. Well, I think that's pretty much it. It's
Okay. Again, that's some great information, especially with um the interesting take on the
But if
speakers and stuff like that.
I always say if I had unlimited money, the things I would get, the stack of Toa for sure. And the AC6 from EAW, still the loudest column speaker by far. But it's $14,000. And you kind of have to have an audio engineering degree to really unleash it.
Matt, did you happen to see any lighting gear that might be innovative, that could be
No,
possibly popping up this year?
no. The only thing that I've seen that's new, it wasn't at Namm, but I might get JMAZ has come out with their version of the Astera tubes. Um, and
Oh,
they
I've heard
are,
of those. Are
yeah,
those that
they're literally the
stuff?
same, just with wireless DMX built in with a 2.4 gigahertz, so you can use them with the Donner transmitters. They've got a bunch of programs preset. I saw them last year at Namm, and they were supposed to come out last year, but they didn't. But they're nice. They're not Chinese tubes. They're nice. So lighting wise, I guess Wolf Mix was there. I didn't see it. They're updating the software, not the hardware, but they are like adding some features in a software update coming soon. Um, there was no AI light shows or anything like that. ADJ had a very small booth. Elation wasn't there. Like I said, Chevet wasn't there. Rasha wasn't there. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of DJ stuff there. I mean, Froggy's had their same fog gun that they had last year. They didn't really have anything else. Gator was there. Got my little Gator plush now. I've got like six of them. Um,
Because when I
oh
spoke, you've heard of Maestro, that AI
yeah, they weren't
lighting
there.
DMX thing.
AI
It's
DMX
like
lighting
I
controller.
asked somebody from there about 6 months ago if they were going to be at NAM, and they said, "Yeah, yeah, we're going to be at NAM," but obviously they weren't.
The cool thing hardware wise, K&M makes nice stands. They have a gravity stand like thing, but it's from K&M and it's actually like small, but super heavy. So you can not have a giant, 20-inch base plate or whatever with your gravity stands. And then Gravity itself, they have now a little thing with two wheels. You just kick in to your gravity base plate, and then you could just roll it. So that was kind of cool. It's patented. So that was a cool little product. Other than
Okay.
that, I don't know. Look on the Instagram for anything that impressed me. Again, Bass Boss. I think my buddy who's an audio engineer always hates on it because he said I could do the same thing if put enough subs in a small room, and I'm like, well, why don't you do it then? So,
Well, again,
yep.
that Krakatoa and that kind of stuff. Again, unless you're like doing a Taylor Swift style concert, I, I don't see a practical for a normal wedding. Again, someone will probably do it, maybe you, Matt, or someone else, But for 99% of the other people out there, for a normal sized wedding, or maybe a school event, maybe if you got like 1,000 kids and you got a big enough space. Um, but that's the thing is that you have to have the right tool for the right size amount of people. Um, Speaking of tools and stuff like that, uh, I want to ask you guys on a studio setup. So you want to have some studio speakers, you want to have some music at home. You want to have, you listen to music, you're editing, you're doing anything like that. Um, what do you basically use for your home studio? Now, myself, I actually have, and I listen to you guys here on my Pioneer monitors, my Pioneer DJ monitors or Alpha Theta monitors. And I have a set of that I listen to my music on. I listen to YouTube on. I listen to everything through this. And my studio is kind of here. I have my little one of my two Hercules mini controllers, the Starlight, and I have a Yamaha mixer for the microphones for online and stuff like that to record. And I have multiple cameras here. I have camera down here, camera up there. But the Pioneer monitors is the sound my go-to for sound. I was wondering what you guys use for your home setup. What is your basically your poison? What do you listen to music on at home in your DJ area? What do you have? What's your fun area? So I'm gonna start with Hunter. Hunter, what do you have for your fun area?
Well, I pretty much don't have a studio, but I actually have my man cave. So what I listen to my music on, especially when I'm on my laptop, I use these JBL Tune 510 BTs to listen to my music on, so I don't bother my mom or my dad downstairs watching TV. I have a 4.1 channel LG soundbar with the two rear left and right speakers. It has Bluetooth. I can connect my phone to my laptop, and I use Apple Music or Spotify for listening to music. And I got a Bose Wave Music System 3 where I can, connect a Bluetooth adapter, can listen to the FM radio, CDs, my vinyl records, because I still listen to vinyl. And the vinyl turntable I have is a Fluence RT81.
Okay, cool. And then what do you what do you usually use to like play back music? Do you use a controller or you just use your computer or use a
Just use,
tablet?
just use my computer or my phone.
You're just playing MP3s. You're not using like, virtual
No,
DJ or record
no,
box or anything like that on your computer.
no, no.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go to
Oh,
Dwayne.
but when I'm, checking my DJ sets, I use the semi performance mode in Engine DJ to go over my sets.
Okay. So Dwayne, what do you use at home? What's kind of your home setup that you listen to stuff on and
I have a Sony. It's a MHC EC991. It's one of those old all-in-one units that play CDs, tape players, and I can also change it for like they call it PC mode, where I can just plug external like sound like my computer or my controller into it, and it has two speakers that sit up at the top, and it has a sound woofer. So I have that, and then if I'm sitting here at the desk, I usually either use my Rev One or my Newmark DJ Go as my controller, and then I work either out of Serato, or if I'm doing music, Serato sample or DJ Studio. And then I have the Natty Blue USB mic. And
Yeah,
I just
like
use as far as yeah, as
yeah,
far as the
microphones
cameras,
are important too.
yeah, as far as the cameras, I have like a few of these.
The Logitechs,
So I,
yeah, that's what I
yeah, so
have.
I can
Yeah.
get the front and down, that kind of
Cool.
stuff. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
the
and I
lot
have a little was it Insignia
Yeah.
Roku TV, I think is about a 29-inch maybe for a monitor.
yeah, the Logitech cameras like the one I have here, they work really, really well. The fun part is, putting stuff together. Like, so I have 39-inch monitors here. I have them set on each side. The uh the microphone, PreSonus microphone, which are friends from um, the Sound Couple. They love that brand of equipment. I think the microphone sounds really good. You guys can tell me if it sounds really good. But that right there, I have two of them. I have one here. I have one off to the side here for Tracy when she's next to me. We're talking to customers. One's pointed toward her to get her, and of course I have this one right here for myself. And it's one of the things that I've done some decorations to it, obviously. But
Well,
it's one of the things that microphone is a very important thing, especially for a home studio. I'm going to go over to Chris. Chris, what do you have for your home studio?
Really don't have a home studio. I just have a wall of monitors and quite a good number of computers because most of my what I do in my office is computer repair stuff. So prepping up computers, but when I need to listen to music or prep up music, I'm usually just doing it on my DJ Performance laptop or as I'm listening to music just to know the songs, I'm listening to in my car on my way to from my full-time job. So that's pretty much it. I mean, what we're listening to now is I'm using a Nexago webcam, and then I've got a Radio Shack Avio branded Bluetooth speaker, and that's what I'm hearing you on that. So 29-inch monitor. I got 55-inch TV. I've got two 27-inch underneath that 55. I got my little 13-inch computer here. My 18-inch DJ computer is tucked away for right now, but I do have music to prep this week. So, I mean, that's pretty much basically it. You know,
Okay, cool. I,
keep it
I
light
I
and
keep
simple.
bug I keep bugging Tracy. I'm like, I want a 50-inch TV on the wall behind the monitors. She's like, why? I'm like, so I can have like YouTube on or something like that, or have a video, put it
I can
up
literally
there to
touch it with
watch
my
video for
hand, so
YouTube.
it's literally
Yeah,
that close to me. As I sit back in my office and
yeah, that'd be
relax to watch
yeah, yeah, that would
watch
be actually
movies, watch
cool.
TV shows, it
Yeah,
works quite well.
yeah, yeah, that'd be cool because I actually have a 55-inch TV and it doesn't look that big.
No,
You know,
I
the
mean,
the the funny thing was, I was just looking the other day and we are talking the other day. Um, Her parents' TV in the living room was a 32-inch Zenith, which nice TV. It was a nice TV, heavy as all heck, tube TV, 32-inch, and I have in there a 65-inch. That's I have a 65-inch Sony, um, and it just I look at 32 inches. Like I have a 32-inch monitor for wedding shows, and I look at that monitor, I'm like, that's so small. And I gotta think back, like, my parents' TV they had in like their bedroom when I was growing up was a Toshiba black striped stereo TV. And that was a 20-inch TV, a 19 or 20-inch TV. So it's like I got my monitor on my laptop is 17.3. So I'm like, that's almost the same size as the TV my parents had in a room. So
yeah. Back in
we had two
November, I
TVs,
helped
one
a
out front, one
client
back.
install a LG C3. I think it was a 65 or a 70-inch TV, and it was really interesting the way they've made them compared to, say, 5 years ago, and then say 10 years ago. The weights have come definitely different, and one thing they definitely don't do justice for TVs is the built-in speakers, especially monitors. Oh my God, they are just crap when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah,
monitor
yeah,
audio.
yeah.
And they could just put something just the tiniest bit better and they would sell a whole lot more monitors.
Well, that's why you upgrade the audio and get some real speakers. And
Yeah,
like
of course.
I have
That's
the Pioneer, the BT 50s, or 50 BTs. Um, these speakers right here are pretty good. I do have KRK. I know I think I saw DJ Crossfire. Yeah, he says KRK eights. I do have a set of KRK eights. I do have a set of those, and I actually have them over here. They're I want to say second gen or first gen. Really good speaker. I just don't have the height and room on the desk to put them on, but they're actually really good. Um, Mike's an OG DJ because he has the Pioneer TV, which Pioneer is making. Well, there's someone's making TVs with Pioneer's name, um, and they have it at Best Buy. I think it's the original Pioneer because I had a Pioneer big screen, and then I went to Mitsubishi for big screen. But yeah, Pioneer does have TVs, so you can say you got it. So. Um, Matt's going to rejoin. Well, before you,
Oh,
Matt,
okay.
you're going to go right now, or do you have a minute?
I'll give you 2 minutes.
Okay. What do you have for your home studio?
I don't have a home studio.
Not
You don't have like
yet.
dual
He's working
21s
on
you're
it.
sitting on right now as your couch?
I don't really listen to music like besides on my laptop when I'm prepping for gigs. Like I don't really listen to music on anything. Like I have AirPods, but like my TV, I have a TCL soundbar with a sub that is sounds amazing that I use, in my living room. But no, I don't have speakers. I don't have anything like that. I don't really listen to music that often unless I'm in the car or at a gig. So
Oh,
no,
I have you beat there. I listen to music 24/7. I mean,
yeah.
there's not a time when I'm not listening to music.
You're not listening to music right now. Oh, I
Oh,
got you.
well, it's good for the show, but after
I'll
the
be
show,
back
I'm
on
listening to
I'll
music.
be back on my mobile.
Yeah,
Okay.
right, Matt. Jeff, I'm going to go to you. What do you have for your home studio?
Well, I have a basement, which is it's quite advantageous because I can leave stuff set up in between gigs. I usually don't set up, my whole getup. I just put my DDJ 1000 on a table. I don't set up the whole Pro X Mesa Media, DJ table, but and I definitely don't set up the monitor for music videos. But I leave that stuff set up in the basement to if I want to do any rehearsing or just listen to anything new. As far as my studio here, this is my office. Basically I've got, my laptop lives here with me. That's my main DJ laptop. I have a backup laptop with the exact same music and music videos on it in another room. But yeah, I mean, I've just got pretty standard stuff. But yeah,
Oh,
see if
yeah,
I
you
can
got multiple
turn
screens
around
too.
and there you guys are.
There we go.
Here. Have a 29-inch iMac over there. Got my light up there. There's a bunch of old cameras and stuff in here. So yeah, it's just stuff like we all have. But no, like when I'm working in here, it is downloading music, putting together whatever list sets I need for any gigs, that type of thing. And I'll go to the basement if I want to take my computer there and do any rehearsing, playing for that. I leave everything mostly set up. Right now it's not because I have been gone for a while, so right now everything's still in cases and packed away, but it will come out probably this weekend because next week, a week from this weekend, is my first gig of the year. So that'll have to be stuff to me to be broken out and make sure everything's working. So that's what I
And
use. And my speakers in here are just these tiny little Altec Lansing computer speakers with a sub on the floor. But they're fine for, sitting, a foot and a half away from them. So it works. And a blue mic. Use that for podcasts.
and one thing is that I know that now you're officially retired. You kicked the business, well, the job to the curb, and now you're officially retired and you're doing the business full time. you had a chance to go to a nice vacation. Hopefully, you and the boss enjoyed your nice, beautiful vacation.
We
Hopefully
did.
a pleasant flight back and forth. You're here, you're in one piece. That means you survived.
Yep, yep. It was beautiful. Yeah, Dominican Republic for a week. It was quite nice. So went with friends and had a good time.
That's the important thing. I'm glad to see you back here, and thank you so much. And I appreciate and glad that you're here to enjoy the show with us, like everything. The uh, the one thing is that because you had a lot of time in working for TV stations and doing video and stuff, uh, on a typical TV station, what do they usually use for monitor speakers? Do you know?
Uh, you know, they put that on it's kind of very secondary to the video, honestly. And it's always been the joke in television that they don't pay enough attention to sound, and it is still to some point still like that. But as far as the monitors, like in the control room or the edit bays, they're just cheap little, or they're not cheap, but they aren't these nice, sound monitors that you would find, in a in a sound booth. They're just tiny little speakers. They also use them in the live trucks. They mount them into the live truck walls. So, I can't remember. I think they have a couple of brands. One is Fostex, and I'm trying to remember the other brand that they use. I cannot remember it right off my head, but it does the job, but it's nothing great. Especially the speakers in the control room and in the receive room. They get the job done at a bare minimum. They definitely they don't have a lot of bass. So, there's no subs, there's very little bass response. So but in their defense, what they're listening to are people talking live on air, and there's very little music. So, you got a mainly a mid-range sound. So I guess that's why they just don't put a whole lot of effort into making it sound great. So
So, a few things here in the chat. I'm going to catch up in the chat and say hello to everyone in here. I see, again, I saw Jim earlier. See DJ Crossfire. Mikey Mike is in the chat.
Oh, hey, Mike and
Um,
Mike.
who else is in here? Adrian E is in the chat. Adrian, what's going on? Mike was given a list of stuff he uses, and DJ Crossfire gave a list of what he uses for his stuff. Mike, he said a MacBook Mini with a 24-inch monitor, DJ Studio to edit and create mixes, FLX 10 with QSC Touch Mix 8, and he's got that connected to his Pioneer monitors. Adrian E says Mackie CR series. Mike also said a DDJ 800 and a Sony ZV1 camera, 55-inch TV. Crossfire said he's got his mounted to the wall. I am taking his speakers. Cool thing. Do you have your earbuds in listening to music? That's Mikey Mike when he said he did 24 hours of music. Uh, one of the coolest studios that he has seen is Michael Joseph or MJ on Disc Jockey News. Yes, I've seen his studio. He does have a really cool studio because it's secluded in sound in his at his house. Very, very cool studio. He also says hello to everyone. Let's see here. Mikey Mike said hello, Hunter, which he said earlier. Let's see here. Crossfire said he had KRK8s and DDJ FLX 10. That's what he has in his studio. So it's always interesting what people have. Let me get rid of that. DJ Fire, Nathan, how are you doing, sir? Hopefully you're doing good.
I'm great. How are you all?
Doing
Good.
great. What do you use in your studio for, for sound and everything? Because I know you do video editing and so forth, but what do you have in your studio?
Not gonna lie, I don't have anything fancy. I got a sound bar hooked up to my computer that some Chinese company sent. Nothing fancy. I don't really listen to music in there. I do my editing, get done, and going about my day, because if I sit there and listen to music, the editing process takes forever because you get sidetracked and you're just like, oh, and it sucks because I have like 4 or 5 screens that have, multiple different things. Like I'll have that's another thing. You should never have a movie playing or something while you're trying to edit, because you'll get distracted of, watching a movie, and then you look down an hour later and go, oh, I still haven't done any more editing. But, I want to get some actual studio speakers. I was thinking maybe some Yamaha stuff. I'm not for sure. I've got a few friends that have some Yamaha just studio speakers. They're pretty nice. Um, I really haven't. I don't know. My studio's a mess right now. I've got like 12 packages to do reviews on sitting in there, and I haven't even opened them yet. We've been doing some stuff at our church, tearing down a bunch of old houses. We've acquired a lot more property to build on, and we've been knocking down the old houses and stuff. So I really haven't had much time to do any editing. However, I have acquired with some new companies and stuff. So hopefully, maybe one of those companies has studio speakers they'll send me. So, but I don't know. Of course, I've got let's see, two 34-inch screens, one 42-inch screen. Like I got a 27. I'm trying to start doing some live streaming stuff when I'm not DJing or doing any reviews or anything. So I'm trying to set up. I have two separate computers that I've built. One of them strictly editing. The other one I kind of wanted to strictly set up for basically live streaming. So I need to probably get some studio speakers for that. But I don't want to spend a whole lot of money because, I don't sit in my studio like some of you guys do more than others. But, I want to make it sound good. Audio's key. So, yeah, that's right now I'm in my automotive studio right now.
Your portable studio.
Yeah.
I'm at, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, get yourself an Anton car to drive yourself around now.
I'm at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut. That's not pizza.
Well, this is the only Pizza Hut left in probably the state of Illinois. The rest of them have been shut down.
No, there's Pizza Huts up here. I could take you to one right by me, but no one really goes to it because we have good pizza in Chicago.
Pizza Hut sucks anyway.
Not New York. It's not New York, buddy.
Oh, no.
Chicago does not have pizza.
Chicago does have pizza.
Solstice was talking about those base boss, those single 18s. How much were those going for, Matt?
Price from Guitar Center for a pair of them, $6,800.
That's not bad.
They go for $4,000 each. But if you call them, they can get you like a friends and family discount for 20% off. So that's why I'm going there. And Guitar Center's amazingly, Guitar Center's pricing has been better than anywhere else I've tried to buy gear from lately. So I'm happy to take my business there. They're good with returns. You could just drop it off instead of shipping it. They'll give you instant money back, no questions asked. Yeah.
Is the single base boss 18s, are they heavy or are they?
Yeah, they're 120. They're 120 pounds.
Oh, holy cow! What kind of? How good's what ports does it have hookups on the back of the amplifier?
It's just single XLR, and then Cat 5 for if you want to use what they call control base software. So you can monitor the levels remotely if you connect it to a router, and then it uses the Ethernet cable to. They have firmware updates that kind of change how the amp works and how it fires and all that, and so they do driver updates that way. But otherwise, it's simple inputs and outputs. There's nothing fancy. It's just heavy bass.
Wait, do Apple computers have a Ethernet connection?
Yeah, they do if you get an adapter. Of course.
So you don't have an Ethernet connection, so you can get another adapter to add to the pile.
Who uses Ethernet these days?
No, we always use
Nobody.
Wi-Fi.
Why
Well,
would
Use
you
I'm
not
not.
use Ethernet?
I'm
It's not
trying to
fancy.
figure out what I want to do. I saw somewhere advertised those new Bass Boss single 18s, but a buddy of mine's trying to get me to go to QSC, so I don't know.
No, QSC sucks. Their subs suck. Their
Well,
stuff's
man,
just old and
like I'm talking about maybe just getting like a sub, and then the K12s or something. My buddy runs K12s and K15s, and he says, you know,
they don't have a
they're
K15. You mean a
do
one?
what?
They don't have any. They don't have any 15-inch speakers. They've never made a 15-inch speaker. They do 8, 10, and 12s.
Oh, okay.
They have
Well,
15-inch subs though. But no, USC is really old, so I can invest in it now for sure. It's
Yeah,
all very old
I
and
kind, I
dated
kind
at this point.
yeah, definitely because my old church has 6 QSC column speakers on the top of their stage with 2 old JBL subs. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I would
I
Just
get.
just
I
matching
mean,
brands and
want to up my sound quite a bit this year, but nobody wants to pay. Like I had someone call me today about a gig, and they're just like, "Oh, we're not really doing anything very big." And she's like, "I went ahead and booked the venue today, but I've never even seen it." And I'm like, "You booked a venue without even seeing it?" Like, alrighty then. And then they were like, "We just probably need you from like 4 to 7," and I'm like, "You either book me for the full day, or I'm not gonna go set up for that little of a gig." You know?
Well, you have to love
uh,
people like that, and
I know. I've actually dealt with people like that because I got booked a birthday party, and it was in a trailer park. They wanted me to set up on a piece of particle board with a very unsafe extension cord.
yeah, and unfortunately, you have to ask questions. I'm going to go to Sean and ask Sean. Sean, what do you have in your studio?
Yeah, nothing too special. Got my old SB3 controller. And then just for a speaker, I got an old white Maui 5. It's got some discoloration on it, so I don't use it for weddings anymore. So I got that set up in the studio to listen to. And yeah, for right now, I'm just running built-in camera in my Dell and Logitech headset.
So nothing too crazy, but you have a Maui 5. That's kind of a
Yeah.
cool speaker to have for
So my white one started getting like some rust spots on it. Haven't even
really.
used it for outdoor gigs ever. I mean, I got it when it first came out, so I mean I've had it for several years now. But yeah, the columns got some rust spots on them. So
Did you
if you want to
contact
use
LD and tell LD about it?
I I did, and I'll tell you, their price to replace them is super cheap. So if you ever do have problems with them, they're super good about replacing it and really good price on them. But I just bought a new set and stuck this one in the office.
I gotta get a I have a little dent I saw last time on the black one on the filler piece. You have the bottom to battery, you have the filler piece, and you have the top where the drivers are at. There's a small little dent. I saw it the last time I used it. I'm like, okay, I gotta get a new centerpiece. So
Don't
that's the
don't
I got to order one
completely
of
quote
those.
me on it, but I'm pretty sure it was like $35 for the filler
Oh,
pieces.
that would be.
And even the top, I'm pretty sure the top directly through them was under 100.
Oh wow, okay. And let's see here. What I'm trying to saw some stuff here. Mike said he booked 4 weddings in the last 2 days. Mike is also
Oh,
saying that for the EV 12-inch power sub is great. He was saying the Mike says two QSC K12s, the second gen, and then Mike said EV 12 EKX SPs. So
No,
that's what he calls out for those.
EKX sucks. Sorry. All EV sucks. I don't know what kind of ears you guys have, but they're everything. Every single person I was with did not like a single speaker they had demo, with the exception of the ELX, and then again with the 90s and
I would like to see you go to Boston and go to Harvest of Sound and listen to the speakers they have there
Clueless
behind the
too.
drape and see what you think.
I could easily pick out the sound of an EV speaker if that's what you're saying. You think I
No, I'm
can't
not
pick it
saying
up?
that. I'm just saying I'd love to see what you thought if you did that. and you had different speakers up there, would that change? Because that was a lot of people walking in, and the the Harbinger array actually got rated very well by the crowd for sound quality.
It's crazy because I remember when like Travis McGuire got a pair of those, and I did too, and those things suck. Like I don't know what like maybe my ears are bad or I just expect the most, but I had those Harbinger MLS 1000 or whatever they were for a week, and they were absolutely terrible. The bass was rattling like crazy, like in a bad way. Like there was drivers that were loose. It was clipping like crazy, and it wasn't very loud. So I don't know what kind of thing they're using to test over there, but did it
Well,
sound okay?
they're
Sure.
testing on actual audio equipment. They have sound engineers there actually testing the sound, but it's everyone voting. You have
Oh,
multiple
they need.
people voting on it, multiple people going, "Hey, you should really. I would love to see you go to Harvest Sound." And just maybe a blind test. You might be like, "Wow, I didn't realize it was this." Never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, look at me. I was actually close to being an EV customer. I was about to get the ZLX 12Ps, but then I opt for the Eon 612s, and the Eon 612s have been awesome.
That's the thing. You're happy. And again, Matt said the perfect thing. Everyone likes a different thing, different opinions. And that's the one thing is, Matt, what Matt feels about speakers or about this brand or that brand, that's entirely up to him. I look at, you have to be open minded. If you like something, you invest money into it. This is not to. I know there's a lot of debate been going on lately for between DJs for this or that. This is to have different opinions. You may not agree with one opinion or another. You may think it's a whole different brand even better. But that's the thing is that just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's what they feel it's best for them. And if Matt wants to get 15 Krakens and run those and for a event with 10 people in it, hey, that's fine and great. That's not a problem. We just lost Matt. I think he's at his destination. He had a run somewhere. But again, it all boils down to what people want to have, and there's no right or wrong answer. Uh, Paul, I'm going to ask you. I know you have behind you the the studio there, and I don't think that if I remember correctly, that's not your studio. But what do you have in your studio for set for you listen to audio or to set do video or anything like that? What do you do?
Well, the picture behind me is from the lovely folks at Jack FM in America somewhere. But yeah, it's either America or UK, I have no idea. But I just like the look of it. But no, my setup is pretty basic. I got two Pioneer 900s, a Newmark M6 4-channel mixer. I generally listen to everything through my headphones. A pair of Sennheiser, what are they? I'm gonna say, oh, they're in my bedroom. They're a pair of Sennheiser. I think they're the HD 450s. They're an old school sort of headphone, but they're still pretty good. What else? I've got an Elan Audio broadcast mixer because I do some voiceovers from time to time, and little jingles and bits and pieces for people, and yeah. So I've got that. What else have I got? Just a generic little for doing the internet, the webcast like this. Just a generic sort of. Um, $100 little USB mic, studio mic. Um, uh, nothing too sort of flash or exciting. Sometimes I'll hook up the Prime 4 Plus and use that to practice on but sometimes I'll just use my it's a no, you can't even see it. It's a Infinity E15 gaming laptop, and it's got virtual DJ on it, and I won't even hook it up to a controller, and I'll just use the mouse and play around with doing some mixes and what have you. Because it's a touch screen, yeah. I sort of play it that way. That's sometimes, but yeah, usually just on the two Pioneer 900s and the new Mark IV channel mixer. So nothing too out of the ordinary. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that it's interesting how everyone has different stuff. There are different levels in their office or their studio, and there's no right or wrong. Again, it all boils down to what you could fit and where you're at. I'm blessed to have this is a spare bedroom in my house, and I have half the room here, maybe less than half, but a little more than a third, but about half the room. This side of the room is the business. I have a printer next to me. I have a filing cabinet. I have a metal cabinet over there with all the extra stuff like extra batteries and pens and paper and brochures, all the fun stuff for the business. I have another chair over there against the wall. I have some posters up for wedding shows I've done. I have a calendar in front of me that my lovely wife got for me for Christmas, one of my Christmas presents, which has pictures relating to our family. Like I see a picture of my dog with her birthday just a week or so ago was her birthday, so her birthday month is my dog. It's stuff like that, and it's fun. You have that. Behind me is a treadmill, and you can kind of see in the corner there some boxes over there because it's kind of storage over there. Everybody has different things. Some people have a huge studio. Some people are like Jeff that has awards behind him, and it has all the cool stuff. Everyone has different things. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's very interesting. Some people are in their living room. Some people are even in their man cave.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that what you have in your studio, what makes you happy, what works for you, it's always different. And whatever it is,
Dwayne
always
seems to be in some clandestine NSA control room.
That's right. That's right. You don't have to be in some secret squirrel place and have to have all the latest technology. And Mike hit a nail on the head is that if you bought everything that came out new every single time, and you would make no money all year long. And he asked, no whiteboard. Yes, I do have a whiteboard. Yes, I do have one. I have one of those anti-writable calendar too. I have got one of those. What kind of printer? I have a Epson. I have replaced it too. ET 15,000. ET 15,000 is that one. And then Crossfire said I get Peacock my ultimate DJ booth from TL DJ this weekend for the 50th. Feels good to bring the big show for a change. There you go.
Speaking
and,
speaking of printers, I actually have a printer in my office. It's the HP DeskJet 2755E wireless color printer, which is also USB for my office.
yeah, the printer I have hardwired via USB off this computer, but it's on a wireless system, and it is the Ecotech system or Epson's. You fill the ink up. Our other one we had for 12 years finally died, and it was the first generation of the Ecotech. Was it 10 years, 12 years, whatever it was? We've had it for a while, and it finally died. This one right here is quasi commercial, not really commercial, but I do have a commercial shredder in the corner here that we spent quite a bit of money on, and that will last as long as you keep up the maintenance on it. Sounds funny, but there's maintenance on it.
I went and brought one of those the Canon G3030 the tank printers because I got sick of buying those cartridges that they charge an arm and a leg for. So now it's like for 6 months I haven't had to fill up the print. That's the one, yeah, the same refills, yeah.
Yeah, Epson,
And
Epson's, and yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the tank printers. I think you get you spend a little bit more money, but you get more value for money in the long run. Sort of you're not buying $40 cartridges every couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I want to see a show of hands. What are you gonna say, Chris?
what's printing? I haven't printed anything for years. I just try to do digital contracts and everything else. What
Oh,
are
you,
you
you
guys
need you
really
need to have
printing?
paper for taxes, for
Uh-uh.
insurance, for
Okay, so all right, so you're right. I do need to print my insurance card. Okay, but
My daughter's
I'm
just
not
finished
printing,
12th
but
grade, and
maybe
yeah,
once or
so
twice
she
a year. I
oh
haven't bought a
we
ream of
every
paper in
every
over a
contract
year.
every contract we print because we file it. We have a hard copy as well as a digital copy, so we have it in two ways. It's one of the things that coming from we do a lot of digital stuff, but we also have a lot of stuff that's printed hard copies. Plus, again, you take pictures. I have my list here, which you guys can't see because you guys see a white piece of paper with all the topics for the round table. I like to print things, it's kind of nice having physical paper. I guess I'm an old man and I'm old school, and you get off my lawn. But I want to see a
to be a
real
bit
quick,
Just
real
to be a
quick
bit
show of
cheeky.
hands. Who here has a Canon printer? Raised their hand.
I have my hand raised. You just can't see me.
Okay, so Nathan and Paul have Canon. Who here has Epson? All right. Who has Brother?
Got an
Oh.
HP.
HP. Who else has HP? Oh,
Oh yeah.
3 guys with HP printers. Look at that.
I have an HP too.
Nathan's got 2, of course.
I'll be
what
honest,
was
we,
what
we haven't
got
bought
here?
ink for ours in like 2 years. We don't print anymore.
I'm going to be cheeky and say I'm kicking it old school. I've got a dot matrix printer.
A pin
What's the
printer. There you go. You got
manufacturer?
here. Going back and forth. Yeah, do pictures that way. It's always the best.
Wow.
DJ Crossfire says Epson for him. DJ Staples got them all cheap. LOL. Mike says Epson. Adrian says HP, and DJ Staples says HP. What's going on, DJ Staples? Good to see you too, sir. Glad to have you here. I appreciate you stopping by. If you guys haven't done so, make sure when you follow our channel. There's some other DJs here who have channels here on Twitch, including DJ Staples has one, Crossfire has one, Hunter has one, and Sean, you got one, right? No? Oh
No.
man. Who
I'm
else
too
here has
busy for that. I don't know how you guys have time to waste making these videos.
Well, we're doing this tonight on Twitch.
Yeah.
I one night.
And I do my show on Thursday nights.
That's great.
Thursday
Too
night,
busy.
I'm too
I
busy
gotta
for
be at
that.
another place.
Anybody else here have a Twitch show?
I don't have a show,
Wayne?
but I got a channel.
There you go.
You're part of my show. You're part of Time to Spin, Dwayne. You're actually a regular.
See, there you go. So make sure on Thursday night if you get a chance to make sure you go over to Time to Spin on Twitch. That's his channel, Hunter's channel. He has his show Thursday nights. Also, DJ Staples has his show, which is kind of funny. Him and I, we have the same name for our shows, but we're 2 different shows. He has some really great music guests on his show a lot of times. We talk gear here. So if you're a gearhead, you like DJ gear, that's what we talk about mostly is DJ gear here. But we thank you guys all for being here. And last week had 98 degrees on last week. Yeah, see, DJ Staples is cool.
Oh.
And we have no Canadians here, but DJ Staples is a former Canadian. He moved down to the States, but he is a Canadian at heart. He does have the flag that's half maple leaf, half stars and stripes. And I actually got a chance to talk to DJ Crossfire, real cool guy, former Brit, former U.S. Army, an all-American. I great guy, DJ Crossfire. Awesome guy. If you get a chance to check out his stuff, and it's one of the things that we appreciate you guys all. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget we're on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, don't forget we have YouTube. And one thing also with DJ Staples, he does a lot of times in the morning. If I'm up, if it depends on schedules, he does do some morning music runs and has some really great music. I always like sitting there listening to it. And I listen to 2 ways, either on my 65-inch TV, which is my preferred way to do it because I have the soundbar, or I at least listen to it on my phone. But he does some really great stuff there too. So, yeah, it's been a while since you've done one, but again, if I'm up and you got one going, it's a great thing to watch and listen to, and some great music. He had some great grooves, especially the one times I tuned in. He had this great smooth, kind of like that. Smooth kind of vibe to it, like just chill vibe, and it was just great 80s and 90s, kind of like a little R&B, a little bit of light rock, light not and not not yacht rock, but 80s and 90s, that nice cool groove, and having stuff on there which is really great. And again, Crossfire, he's got great stuff on his stuff too, so make sure you support everyone and listen to that stuff. All acoustic versions of there you go, of genes of genres. Yeah, he's got a lot of great music there. But a couple times I was like listening to his groove and what he had going on. So make sure you follow Crossfire, and make sure you follow DJ Staples. Make sure you follow Hunter with Time to Spin. Make sure you follow Dwayne and get him to do some mixing on here. Everyone else, again, I'd love to see you guys all have channels here. Now Jeff is retired. Hopefully, maybe Jeff might do one. You never know. Jeff may do one. You never know. I'd love to see that. Well,
you could steal the name from the Wiggles and call it "Wake Up Jeff."
There you go. We are way over in overtime, and I'd love to chat and talk, but we're going to head off here tonight. We appreciate all you guys out there watching and having fun. Again, thank you so much, DJ Staples, stopping by. DJ Crossfire, thank you so much, and great conversation with you the other day. Adrian talked to you yesterday. Great guy to talk to. Sent him a customer. Unfortunately, the customer, they already booked someone, but he is awesome. He is my go-to guy for certain events. It's nice having local DJs. And here, I want you guys to do this for me. Anyone out there watching the show, reach out to another DJ in the area. Maybe go to lunch. Maybe go take them to Dunkin' Donuts, like Cool Thing likes Dunkin' Donuts, for a coffee. Or take him or her out. Talk to him. Treat him as a friend. Build bridges with other DJs. Doesn't mean you have to be mean. You could be nice. Like going down and visiting Nathan, DJ Fire in Central Illinois, or going up to Wisconsin and visiting Brian S. Rudd. He just had a event yesterday, which if I would have known earlier, I probably would have went to it up in Milwaukee. But it's things like that. Networking is key. And having those friends to turn to, you never know when you need something, and you have to ask someone for help. It's good to have friends. That's why I love having Adrian and other DJs around the Chicago area. So if something happens, I could turn to him and say, "Hey, do you want a gig? I have a gig. I can't do this for whatever reason, or I don't do that kind of gig. Are you available?" And that's the big thing is having people's numbers and texting and saying, "Hey, here's a gig for you." That's the important thing. So tonight, I'm going to actually have Jeff take us out. Jeff, will you do the honors, sir?
Sure, buddy. Thanks, everybody, for watching the DJ Roundtable show. Hope to see everybody back here next week. Until then, keep spinning those DJ records, and see you next week.
Thank you, guys.